Across the country and around the world, across the street and around the corner, this is Over the Culture. This is Over the Culture podcast, where you get to hear my spin on things I like music, sports entertainment, movies, TV shows, and your mom. You also get to hear about things I don't like hillbilly redneck coworkers. Fuck them. I am your bastard of ceremonies, the one gig kid, Pat Stay Black, Alex Treblack, Reefer Sutherland, Luke Flytalker, the most interesting blurred in podcasting, the troller of trolls, the prince of petty, Steve G. This is Over the Culture. Let's talk about this week. So I have this coworker, and I'll just refer to him as Nutjob the Uneducated. And Nutjob the Uneducated is one of those motherfuckers who just loves sharing their one-sided, jaded view and perspective and outlook on the world. And to anyone who cares to fucking listen, even to those who don't. And I feel like that is toxic in a work environment because your outlook, your view, your perspective is always white. Let's just say it. He has a very conservative, borderline QAnon view on things, and I'm glad I didn't know Nutjob the Uneducated in 2020, in when everything was going down in the summer. I just started this place in September, and I'm realizing that Nutjob the Uneducated is going to be one of those motherfuckers that I'll have to address accordingly, move accordingly, and by that I mean stay the fuck away from, because I don't deal with people like that who have no problem sharing their opinions, even though those opinions can be offensive, just out in the public, out in the open. And you live in a city or you live in the surrounding area of a city that is a melting pot. It is so many people of various backgrounds, ethnicities, races, religions, all of that. And for you to have this very white supremacist stance on things, there's only a matter of time before it catches up with you. And, this is somebody who is the one who is a rabble rouser, if you will. He is the type of person who, if you're around him enough, he'll say some things that'll raise your hairs. And I'm not the one. Nutjob the Uneducated. So, little thing that happened over the week, we covered this game, and it was a WCC game, West Coast Conference basketball game. And the West Coast Conference initiated this rule called the Russell Rule, named after Bill Russell. He played for the San Francisco's college back in the 50s. And the Russell Rule is essentially a affirmative action in the world of sports. It requires all of the schools in the West Coast Conference to at least interview a qualified minority for their positions in coaching or in any of the staffing. And Nutjob the Uneducated, he just wanted to share with the world, he wanted to share with anyone present how he felt about the Russell Rule. And his concerns were very typical. I've heard this spiel before. He was talking about how it's bullshit and how a lot of people are taking these jobs who the real qualified people should be having. And by the real qualified people, he really means his white buddies, Gunther, Jimbo, Jim Bob, an assistant cousin fucker, sister mother bastard fucker. Yeah, Jimbo. Yeah, we deserve them jobs. It's always the uneducated whites who are so concerned about people's credentials. Oh, man, he got that because of affirmative action. It's always the uneducated whites who were talking about they're stealing our jobs. What if you are getting this job because of what if you're filling somebody's quota? Maybe you're not qualified. Maybe there's somebody who is a minority who deserves your job more than you. You ever thought about that shit? What's your credentials? What school did you go to? What were you doing? nut job, the uneducated, before you got this job. Maybe there's somebody who's more than qualified, just graduated from college, is interested in the world of television, and does way more in their 20s, building up their resume than you are in your 40s. Nut job, the uneducated. How about that fly shit? You ever consider that? You ever decide to look in the mirror? Let me look at your resume, because I know I graduated from a 4-year accredited college, a university. You know one of those? I graduated from one of those. Got a Bachelor of Arts, film, theater, television production. And by the way, before I even got that degree, I was doing some PBS production assistant work. I still can't talk, but my credentials are better than you. Uneducated, the nut job. Nut job, the uneducated. I did 10 years with Fox, i.e. the Purgatory, before I got this job. Nut job. So yeah, nut job. My best advice, stay the fuck away from Steve G, because he's not the one. We will go hand in motherfucking hand to that HR office. And I will ask you, nut job, the uneducated, please share with the HR office how you feel about the Russell Rule. Please enlighten us how you feel about affirmative action. Nut job, the uneducated. Now, besides this fucking asshole, asshat, another asshat is running rampant in the state of good old Texas. Greg Asshat Abbott has decided to lift the ban and, back to spreading again. Greg Abbott, and I know Texans love their Republican senators and governors just as much as they love Whataburger. But fuck, man, do your due diligence, Texas. Get the fuck out there and vote and get that motherfucker out of office. I lost a friend, good guy, Andrew. He's from England. He was a show promoter down in Beaumont. He was doing that for years. And back when my band, Priest of Hiroshima, when we were covering Rage Against the Machine, he would book us and we would do shows with Soundgarden tributes, Tool tributes. We had a good time. And Andrew, man, he loved the small town life in Beaumont, Texas. And he would sit out and smoke cigarettes with us, man, and share stories of people that he's met and just being in this industry, being involved with booking and promoting, living in England and moving to America, living in Texas for years. And he could talk to us about anything rock and roll related, man. And he was a good dude. We would spend all night outside, man, talking after our show, literally. And I found out that he lost his life to COVID earlier this year in January. And RIP, man. Andrew, you're a good dude, man. You're in a much better place than dealing with fucking Greg Asshat as your governor. So my Texan people, they have not been feeling Greg Abbott for his whole tenure. Just about. I'm glad that none of my friends are Greg Abbott asshat people. That just tells me I don't know a lot of people, not as many people as I thought in Texas. Because clearly there were enough people to get out there and vote for the asshat. And I want to talk about Coming to America and how much I did not fucking like it. Now, if you promote something a year, 2 years, 3 years in advance, and you know the people want it, they've been salivating, foaming at the mouth for this shit, it better hit. It better deliver, especially when it's star-studded with all these comedic legends. Oh my God. And just legends who aren't even in the world of comedy. Within the first 10 minutes of watching Coming to America 2, I had seen about 20 superstar black people. Of course, there's Eddie Murphy, there's Arsenio Hall, and then there's Wesley Snipes, and then there's Michael Blackson, and then there's In Vogue with Salt and Pepper doing What a Man, followed by Gladys Knight. They're not even related. I mean, weird flex, but okay. And then there's James Earl Jones, and then there's Morgan Freeman for about 20 seconds, just for the fact that you could say you had Morgan Freeman in your fucking movie. But There's Lou Nell, and then there's Tracy Morgan, there's Leslie Jones, there's even Colin Jost. And then there's even Eddie Murphy's cute, little, hot, ridiculously fine daughter in one of the roles. Oh my God. All of these comedic legends, all of this talent, all of these ha-ha smarts couldn't add up to one fucking laugh for Steve G. And that is just my opinion. Who the fuck am I? Just a nigga with a podcast. I get it. But people are offended. A lot of people are just pearl clutching. I said what I said on Facebook, and oh my God. How dare you? Well, you can't compare it to the original. Just like, look, man, even if I didn't know the backstory, if I never seen the original, never seen Coming to America, didn't know Simi, Akeem, none of that shit. King Jaffe, none of it. If I just went into this brand spanking new, it still, as a standalone, was not funny to me. And the rule of a comedy movie, I thought the intent of a comedy movie was to make you laugh. I didn't come here for all the foo-foo, soft, delicate pillow talk shit. No. Yes, the bitches are in there are bad. Yeah, Tiana Taylor's sexy as fuck. I'm sorry to say bitch, but I mean, the women in there, of course, man, there were women that were beautiful in the original. Lisa's back. She's reprised her role. What about her freaky little sister? What about Eric LaSalle, the heir of Soul Glow? Yeah, of course you got the barbershop people, but it's just, it ain't hitting the same, man. I don't know. Some of the things that stood out were Leslie Jones, her part, she plays Eddie Murphy or Akeem's baby mama that he didn't know about. And they had like an illegitimate son or whatever. And he's like a grown ass man at this point by the time Akeem knows. And, there's a scene with the son and Colin Jost. That was a cool scene. So yeah, but I mean, as a whole, the movie just wasn't hitting for me, man. It just seemed like a big black superstar flex. Like, you have all of these people, and it's good to see these people alive. I'm glad James Amos was able to, like, reprise his role as the manager of McDonald's, or was it, Whack Arnold, whatever the fuck it was, McDowell's, yeah, Lisa's dad. I'm glad James Earl Jones is still with us. The fact that they had Morgan Freeman is like, okay, the whole Gladys Knight and In Vogue thing, they were like, okay, this 90s group doing What a Man, followed by Gladys Knight doing Midnight Train to Georgia. It just, like, where's the drop-off? Like, they're not even connected. I get it, like, they're women acts, but I don't know, man. Much respect to all those legends involved, but it was just a strong no for me. And I kind of had low expectations, even with the bar being low. It's just, man, it was corny to me, and I appreciate corny shit. I'm a corny motherfucker. I admit that. But Coming to America 2, I don't think I'm the only one. Now, what was good was Drake, his last album, or his EP called Scary Hours 2. It's only 3 tracks, about 12 minutes. The whole project's about 12 minutes, and each track, all 3 are hidden. What's Next? That's the opening track, just under 3 minutes. That's all him. The second track, Wants and Needs, featuring Lil Baby, is about just over 3 minutes. And then Lemon Pepper Freestyle, featuring Rick Ross. And Aubrey is Snapping. Lemon Pepper Freestyle is 6 minutes, 21 seconds. And that is my favorite out of the 3. All 3 are hidden. But that Lemon Pepper Freestyle with Rosé, boss. Yes. 6 minutes, 21 seconds. Scary Hours 2. I'm not going to go far and say Drake is the GOAT. Let's not jump the gun. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. He has grown on me. There was a time when I was, fuck Audrey, fuck Drake. Yeah, man, soft ass Canadian. Why are you trying to play a gangster? Why are you trying to be hard? You ain't hard. But no. He's totally turned the tide, and I've came around the corner. Drake, you're doing your thing, and Scary Hours 2 is a must listen. Now, I'm a wrestling fan, a wrestling nerd, as most people know, anyone who knows me. And just over the week, Shaq made an appearance on AEW. He was actually going through tables. He did some tumbles, he did some power bombs, and he looks the part, man. This is perfect for him. This is a perfect post-retirement career move for him. He's been on TNT as one of the analysts, NBA on TNT for years. Him, Chuck, Kenny Smith, Ernie, and he's perfect for that. When they made the announcement that he was joining the team, I was like, of course, it's a no-brainer. He just retired. Like, he was born for this. Shaq is just one of those dudes. He has that personality. He's like a Jim Carrey. He's like a Will Smith, a Tom Hanks, just a affable guy. He's one of those people. It's like, man, if you don't like him, you're a fucking terrorist. Shaq, man. And so he made an appearance on AEW, and he already has the personality. He has a larger than life personality on top of being a large man. And I saw clips of it because I haven't really been watching AEW, but he's got it, man. He's got it. He's built for this performance entertainment, this performance art that we call American professional wrestling. Now, I'm sure he's on a limited schedule because he still has his obligations with NBA on TNT. But Brock Lesnar, he would make a handful of appearances every year. He's been doing that for the past, 5-6 years. Shows up for maybe a Monday Night Raw or two before the pay-per-view, then shows up for the pay-per-view. Back to vacation. Shaq doesn't have to be at every TV taping. But yeah, big ups to the big Aristotle, man. Never fake a funk on a nasty dunk. And speaking of NBA, the All-Star Weekend is here in Atlanta for the weekend, and I'm trying my best to avoid those Negro Olympics, those super spreader events. Been there, done that. I've been a part and involved in about 2 or 3 All-Star weekends, and does nothing for me. I spend my time here at the crib, in the lab, making sure the hamster is continuing to run on its wheel. I don't need to spend money to be around and try to impress and look cool and look fly and be fake about all of the above around people I don't know who are doing the same exact fucking thing, coming from all over, different parts of the country, different parts of the world, passing blunts around, slurping on hookahs. Nope. It's your turn. It's your hit now. Nah, man. But y'all have at it. I don't even think people can attend the actual event. The game is tonight, and they're going to have the 3-point contest and the slam dunk contest during halftime. It's a different wave. It's a different vibe. Damn you, COVID. The crowd is a big part of these all-star festivities. Somebody has a dope-ass dunk. I'm used to seeing the crowd get up out of their seat and just go, Kevin Hart running into the court. Oh my God, I can't believe that. Horrible Kevin Hart impression. But a couple cool things happened on today, on March 7th. One of the things USA for Africa released We Are the World, and that was big news. It featured a lot of different people, from Diana Ross to Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones, Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, and your mom. And also Private Parts, the biopic by Howard Stern, was released in 1997. And I liked that movie. It had probably some scenes I probably shouldn't have been seeing, but it is what it is. I was a teenager. Who the fuck cares, right? So more on that later. Today in sports history, in 1982, for the first time, the NCAA tournament selection is televised live. In 1986, Wayne Gretzky breaks his own NHL season record with 136 assists. In 1987, Mike Tyson beats James Bone Crusher Smith by unanimous decision in 12 rounds in Las Vegas for WBC, WBA heavyweight boxing titles. In 1996, Magic Johnson is the second NBA player to reach 10,000 career assists. In 2016, Peyton Manning announces his retirement from the Denver Broncos and the NFL, and on that same day, Russian tennis star Maria Sharapova reveals a failed drug test for meldonium at Australian Open in January, subsequently suspended for 15 months. And that was my half-assed sports report. When we come back, I'm going to go over the song We Are the World as it was released on this day, March 7th in 1985. We'll be back after these messages. Today's birthday is for March 7th. Happy 41st birthday to American actress Lauren Prepone. Turning 57 today is American comedian, actress, and screenwriter Wanda Sykes. Happy 61st birthday to American baseball player and sportscaster Joe Carter. Happy 69th birthday to American football player, sportscaster, and politician Lynn Swann. And turning 71 today is his former teammate, American football player and businessman Franco Harris. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. You know what that means, right? You pay nothing. It's free 99. It's a free app that you put on your phone, and it lets you go from there. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Check out Anchor.
A million thoughts fall like paint onto a blank canvas to symbolize but not alleviate the pain's damage. Ain't a bandage that can heal this abscess. I'm sick with this shit until I take my last breath. Repent, testify while I'm calling God's bluff. Put my hands in the sky, felt like I lost my touch. Bled from the first blood, prepared for the sequel. It's evil, how I love and hate the same people. Cheaping on the finest green, drowned in the libations. Out of control like an inferno at the fire station. 40 car pile up on the boulevard of broken dreams. Though it sounds like music, you can hear it in the chokes and screams. Spoken like a battle cry that don't apply. Irony aside, sometimes you die when you ride. So why embellish the inevitable sorrow? Shake a bar or live the day like there ain't no tomorrow. Make you deaf, it's down to leave you blind. It happens all the time. Sometimes I lose my mind. 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 It's like I make you deaf, it's down to leave you blind. It happens all the time. Sometimes I lose my mind. 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 Tango one chain, untamed, unleash. Elbows to the dome like meta world peace. Rabbit hybrid, hide your wife, hide your kids. MTV cribs couldn't show you how I live. It's that microphone testing. First class X-Men. Several references of professional wrestling. Socially awkward, never been to Oxford. Used to live in a small town just south of Rossford. Live long and prosper. Rockwood I rock with. Rottweilers administrating the mosh pits. Childhood friends are turning into Casper. My mind's expanding, I need more answers. Praying for more Mia and a cure for cancer. Faith in the Lord, not these ministers or pastors. Miracles coming this way, I need them faster. I'm such an ungrateful bastard, creating disaster. Try to make you deaf, it's time to leave you blind. It happens all the time. Sometimes I lose my mind. 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 Try to make you deaf, it's time to leave you blind. It happens all the time. Sometimes I lose my mind. 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 time. In the earth, in the verse, then disperse it to the streets. Been a merchant burning beat sweets, blowing out my teeth. Verbiage urging you to reach, run away from the verbose. Pleasant voice, but of course leads you further up the coast and around again, and it feels like the future's here before. So I skip to my loop, having visions of support. A crumbling foundation ever since I've been annoyed. Got no choice, reaching for the buried treasure in my voice. Pipe down, pipeline, downtown is dirty. Sideline, riding for a fleet, heaven sent 30 deep. Even if it's unsafe, it's suitable, it's therapy. Married to the money, need a chariot to carry me. I said I need a chariot to carry me. Further than time traveling, Twitter trending charity. Twitter trending charity, the cherubs out in Tel Aviv. Drop bombs, just rhyme straight out of Lake Galilee. That sound will leave you blind. It happens all the time. Sometimes I lose my mind. 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 Like a make it deaf. The sound will leave you blind. It happens all the time. Sometimes I lose my mind. 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 The sight will make you deaf. The sound will leave you blind. It happens all the time. Sometimes I lose my mind. 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 The sight will make you deaf. The sound will leave you blind. It happens all the time. Sometimes I lose my mind. 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 The sight will make you deaf. The sound will leave you blind. It happens all the time. Sometimes I lose my mind. 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 The sight will make you deaf. The sound will leave you blind. It happens all the time. Sometimes I lose my mind. 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 Sometimes.
And a special mention to those no longer with us. This past Tuesday, we lost Jamaican singer, songwriter, and percussionist Bunny Wailer. Born Neville O'Reilly Livingston on April 10, 1947 in Kingston, Jamaica, he was an original member of reggae group The Wailers, along with Bob Marley and Peter Tosh. A three-time Grammy Award winner, he is considered one of the longtime standard bearers of reggae music. He was also known as Ja B, Bunny O'Reilly, and Bunny Livingston. In October 2018, Wailer suffered a minor stroke, resulting in speech problems. After suffering another stroke in July 2020, he was hospitalized at Andrews Memorial Hospital in St. Andrew Parish, where he eventually died on March 2, 2021 at the age of 73, of complications from the stroke he suffered the previous year. This past Thursday, we lost American professional wrestling promoter Jim Crockett Jr. Born James Allen Crockett Jr. on August 10, 1944 in Charlotte, North Carolina, he was a part owner of Jim Crockett Promotions from 1973 to 1989, a wrestling company affiliated with the National Wrestling Alliance. From 1976 to 1987, Jim Crockett Promotions also owned the Charlotte Orioles, a minor league baseball team based in Charlotte, North Carolina, and the Winston-Salem Polar Twins in the Southern Hockey League from 1974 to 1975. On February 28, 2021, Dave Meltzer reported that Crockett was in grave condition. 4 days later, Robert Gibson reported that Crockett died due to complications of liver and kidney failure. He was 76. Rest easy, y'all. We Are the World is a charity single originally recorded by the supergroup USA for Africa in 1985. It was written by Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie and produced by Quincy Jones and Michael O'Martian for the album We Are the World. With sales in excess of 20 million copies, it is the 8th best-selling physical single of all time. Following Band Aid's 1984 Do They Know It's Christmas project in the UK, an idea for the creation of an American benefit single for African famine relief came from activist Harry Belafonte, who along with fundraiser Ken Cragen was instrumental in bringing the vision to reality. Several musicians were contacted by the pair before Jackson and Richie were assigned the task of writing the song. The duo completed the writing of We Are the World 7 weeks after the release of Do They Know It's Christmas, and only one night before We Are the World's first recording session on January 21st, 1985. The historic event brought together some of the time's most well-known music industry artists. The song was released on March 7, 1985 as the first single from the album by Columbia Records, a worldwide commercial success, topping music charts throughout the world and becoming the fastest-selling U.S. pop single in history. The first ever single to be certified multi-platinum, We Are the World received a quadruple platinum certification by the Recording Industry Association of America. Awarded numerous honors, including 3 Grammy Awards, 1 American Music Award, and a People's Choice Award. The song was promoted with a critically received music video, a VHS, a special edition magazine, a simulcast, and several books, posters, and shirts. The promotion and merchandise aided the success of We Are the World and raised over $63 million, equivalent to $147 million today, for humanitarian aid in Africa and the U.S. Harry Belafonte planned to have the proceeds donated to a new organization called United Support of Artists for Africa, or USA for Africa. The nonprofit foundation would then provide food and relief and aid to starving people in Africa, specifically Ethiopia, where a 1983 to 1985 famine raged. The famine ultimately killed approximately 1 million people. Belafonte's idea for an American version of Band-Aids Do They Know It's Christmas project in the UK also planned to set aside money to help eliminate hunger in the United States of America. He contacted entertainment manager and fellow fundraiser Ken Cragen, who asked his clients Lionel Richie and Kenny Rogers to participate. Cragen and the 2 musicians agreed to help Belafonte's mission and in turn enlisted the cooperation of Stevie Wonder to add more name value to their project. Quincy Jones was drafted to co-produce the song, taking time out from his work on the film Color Purple. Jones also telephoned Michael Jackson, who had just released the commercially successful Thriller album and had concluded a tour with his brothers. Jackson told Richie that he not only wanted to sing the song, but to participate in its writing as well. The songwriting team originally included Wonder, whose time was constrained by his songwriting for the film The Woman in Red. So Jackson and Richie proceeded to write We Are the World themselves at Havenhurst, the Jackson family home in Encino, California. For a week, the 2 spent every night working on lyrics and melodies in Jackson's bedroom. They knew that they wanted a song that would be easy to sing and memorable. The pair wanted to create an anthem. Jackson's older sister, LaToya, watched the 2 work on the song and later contended that Richie only wrote a few lines for the track. She stated that her younger brother wrote 99% of the lyrics, but he's never felt it necessary to say that. LaToya further commented on the song's creation in an interview with the U.S. celebrity news magazine People. I'd go into the room while they were writing, and it would be very quiet, which is odd, since Michael's usually very cheery when he works. It was very emotional for them. Richie had recorded 2 melodies for We Are the World, which Jackson took, adding music and words to the song on the same day. Jackson stated, "I love working quickly. I went ahead without even Lionel knowing. I couldn't wait. I went in and came out the same night with the song completed, drums, piano, strings, and words to the chorus." Jackson then presented his demo to Richie and Jones, who were both shocked. They did not expect the pop star to see the structure of the song so quickly. The next meetings between Jackson and Richie were unfruitful. The pair did not produce any additional vocals and got no work done. It was not until the night of January 21st, 1985, that Richie and Jackson completed the lyrics and melody of We Are the World within 2.5 hours, one night before the song's first recording session. Ken Cragen chaired a production meeting at a bungalow off Sunset Boulevard on January 25, 1985. There, Cragen and his team discussed where the recording sessions with the supergroup of musicians should take place. He stated that the single most damaging piece of information is where we're doing this. If that shows up anywhere, we've got a chaotic situation that could totally destroy the project. The moment a Prince, a Michael Jackson, a Bob Dylan, I guarantee you, drives up and sees a mob around the studio, he will never come in. On the same night, Quincy Jones, associate producer and vocal arranger Tom Baller, was given the task of matching each solo line with the right voice. Baller stated, "It's like vocal arranging in a perfect world." Jones disagreed, stating that the task was like putting a watermelon in a Coke bottle. The following evening, Lionel Richie held a choreography session at his home, where it was decided who would stand where. The final night of recording was held on January 28, 1985 at A&M Recording Studios in Hollywood. Michael Jackson arrived at 8 p.m., earlier than the other artists, to record his solo section and record a vocal chorus by himself. He was subsequently joined in the recording studio by the remaining USA for Africa artists, who included Ray Charles, Billy Joel, Diana Ross, Cyndi Lauper, Bruce Springsteen, and Tina Turner. Also in attendance were 5 of Jackson's siblings, Jackie, LaToya, Marlon, Randy, and Tito. Many of the participants came straight from an American Music Awards ceremony, which had been held that same night. Invited musician Prince, who would have had a part in which he and Michael Jackson sang to each other, did not attend the recording session. The reason given for his absence is varied. One newspaper claimed that Prince did not want to record with other acts. Another report from the time of We Are the World's recording suggested that the musician did not want to partake in the session because organizer Bob Geldof called him a creep. Prince did, however, donate an exclusive track for the Tears in Your Eyes for the We Are the World album. Eddie Murphy was asked by Wonder to participate, but Murphy turned him down as he was busy recording Party All the Time. Murphy later stated that he realized what it was and he felt like an idiot. In all, more than 45 of America's top musicians participated in the recording, and another 50 had to be turned away. Upon entering the recording studio, the musicians were greeted by a sign pinned to the door which read, "Please check your egos at the door." They were also greeted by Stevie Wonder, who proclaimed that if the recording was not completed in one take, he and Ray Charles, two blind men, would drive everybody home. We Are the World is sung from a first-person viewpoint, allowing the audience to internalize the message by singing the word "we" together. It has been described as an appeal to human compassion. The first lines in the song's repetitive chorus proclaim, "We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving." We Are the World opens with Lionel Richie, Stevie Wonder, Paul Simon, Kenny Rogers, James Ingram, Tina Turner, and Billy Joel singing the first verse. Michael Jackson and Diana Ross follow, completing the first chorus together. Dionne Warwick, Willie Nelson, and Al Jarreau sing the second verse, before Bruce Springsteen, Kenny Loggins, Steve Perry, and Daryl Hall go through the second chorus. Co-writer Jackson, Huey Lewis, Cyndi Lauper, and Kim Carnes follow the song's bridge. This structuring of the song is said to create a sense of continuous surprise and emotional buildup. We Are the World concludes the Bob Dylan and Ray Charles singing a full chorus, Wonder and Springsteen duetting, and ad-libs from Charles and Ingram. On March 7, 1985, We Are the World was released as a single in both 7-inch and 12-inch formats. The song was the only one released from the We Are the World album and became a chart success around the world. In the US, it was a #1 hit on the R&B singles chart, the Hot Adult Contemporary Tracks chart, and the Billboard Hot 100, where it remained for a month. The single had initially debuted at number 21 on the Hot 100, the highest entry since Michael Jackson's Thriller entered the charts at number 20 the year before. It took 4 weeks for the song to claim the #1 spot, half the time a single would normally have taken to reach its charting peak. On the Hot 100, the song moved from 21 to 5 to 2, and then #1. We Are the World might have reached top of the Hot 100 chart sooner if it were not for the success of Phil Collins' One More Night, which received a significant level of support from both pop and rock listeners. We Are the World also entered Billboard's top rock tracks and hot country singles charts, where it peaked at numbers 27 and 76 respectively. The song became the first single since the Beatles' Let It Be to enter Billboard's top 5 within 2 weeks of release. Outside of the US, the single reached #1 in Australia, France, Ireland, Italy, New Zealand, the Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, Switzerland, and the UK. The song peaked at #2 in only 2 countries, Germany and Austria. 4 months after the release of We Are the World, USA for Africa had taken in almost 10.8 million. The majority of the money came from record sales within the US. Members of the public also donated money, almost 1.3 million, within the same time period. In May 1985, USA for Africa officials estimated that they sold between 45 million and 47 million worth of official merchandise around the world. Organizer Ken Cragen announced that they would not be distributing all of the money at once. Instead, he revealed that the foundation would be looking into finding a long-term solution for Africa's problems. We could go out and spend it all in one shot. Maybe we'd save some lives in the short term, but it would be like putting a Band-Aid over a serious wound. Cragen noted that experts had predicted that it would take at least 10 to 20 years to make a slight difference in Africa's long-term problems. So that wraps up another edition of Over the Culture podcast. Make sure you check out my other show, Happened in the 90s, released every Thursday with my buddy Matt. We talk about things that happened in the 90s. All right, y'all be cool. Peace.